Hey, what's going on? It's Fist, and I wanted to talk about this Call of Duty, and Activision, and how just I don't know, just disconnect between Activision and the developers and the game itself and the game name itself. So I guess the reason why I'm making this video is I kind of got pissed off about GTA did $1 billion in 3 days, and that is a huge sign for the old consoles, and it says a lot. And I hope it opens up a lot of eyes for Activision and to a lot of other developers, and where the gaming scene is at and what it means, in relationship to Call of Duty. So on Twitter, I see Treyarch throwing out this double XP weekend the same day that the game comes out, and then they do the double XP for weapons. And I'm saying to myself, you know, it's one thing when you have GTA by Rockstar, which not only if you go watch my GTA review, and I'm gonna do some commentaries on GTA, I just haven't got around to it. But if you think about, they took 5 years, and it's mechanically, the mechanics of the game, the philosophy of the game, everything runs really great. It took 5 years to get the product right. And then here's the argument that I get into with people that I don't understand how they can relate this to, GTA. Well, it took 5 years, and of course they're going to do $1 billion. Of course the game's going to be refined. Of course, blah blah blah. Always saying that. And I can't say that for Call of Duty. I can't say I can't let them off the hook and say, oh, it's 8 months and they make $1 billion every game that comes out. But if you look at the numbers, every game that comes out every year, it's going down. It's like it started out at $750 million in 2008 or 2009, and it progressively went down to 650 million. It's no small chump change to look at, right? But the fact is that like Activision, their whole development over the full year, fiscal year, if you listen to their reports, it's 2.2 billion, and they expect a 4.1 billion return. So they're spending 50 cents on the dollar, 50% death ratio on their game that they're making every 8 months for the money that they're returning, and it's getting smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. They have to spend more in advertising gimmicks like Eminem, blah 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 blah, and it's like the whole focus has been lost off of the game. Like when you look at GTA, their budget was like $150 million, I think it was, and I don't give no excuses to Activision and its developers. You have a game in the past that can be refined, refined, and refined. And if you took the same game 5 years with GTA, and if you refine Modern Warfare 2, seriously, if you refine Modern Warfare 2 to today, are you telling me that when the game would be released, it would not do bigger numbers than GTA? It would probably do 2 billion, and they would have to, and they wouldn't, or it would probably do like 6 billion, and they would spend maybe 1 billion in development. Their returns would be much huger. But so I can't give the excuse that, they had 5 years to work on it solely. No, you've had 10 generations of the game that you could look back on and correct the mistakes that people like myself, and that's which brings me to the point of why I'm making this video and kind of ticked off, is the fact that Activision is turning into Electronic Arts. They're taking the Call of Duty name and just slapping it on whatever game they want and calling it Call of Duty. That's why Battlefield failed. Battlefield 2, Modern Combat, Battlefield 2, or Battlefield a Bad Company, Battlefield 3, now Battlefield 4, 60 frames. You keep changing the game and just throwing the Battlefield name on. Battlefield 1943, Battlefield Vietnam. It's not Battlefield no more. It's a different game. You're just throwing the name on it. And that's what happened to Call of Duty franchise. You're sitting there, you screw up the game so much that now you turn into EA and you're just throwing the Call of Duty name on any game every 8 months, and you're just like, okay, we're just going to spend more advertising and more gimmicks to get the same return. So you're spending more money on the debt ratio of the game to make more. To make what you made in the last year, not make more. You're not making more, you're spending more. So you're making less. And so it kind of ticks me off that the people who support Call of Duty the most, the majority of the people who are not on YouTube, who are not on Twitter, who are not on Facebook, who just come home and play the game like the people who do play GTA, those are your core customers. And you, guess what? You don't listen to them. I mean, you slap people in the face by saying, we're going to have double XP. Who the fuck is going to be playing double XP 9 months into the game? Who's going to be playing double XP on weapons 9 months into the game? It's a slap into our face, the majority of the people who play the game. And see, and that's the difference between Rockstar and Activision. Activision is not in touch with the developers. Rockstar and its developers understand A to Z and the philosophy, and they understand the attitude and their audience. They understand their audience. Whereas Activision runs around with blinders on. Now, what do? They say, oh, double XP, and they give what? They listen to MLG players, which represent what? Maybe 1,000 tops people? You think 1,000 MLG players are going to support a $1 billion game? You think that's the way to go? I mean, it's a very, 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 very insignificant group of people. And now look, you give them $1 million in a tournament, and you give us, the GTA fan base, who's not on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, the Activision Call of Duty fan base that's not on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, you give us double XP. And you think we're going to stay around for that? Come on, man. You're really fucking up. And, you know, you're going to have, and I hope that you see, and you're probably not, because you're too fucking stupid to see it. And the developers are, I mean, Treyarch single-handedly, I mean, I could point to the person who single-handedly ruined Call of Duty. And that's David Vonderhaar. He was mind-fucked by these people who tricked him into making a game a certain way, and it has nothing to do with the majority of the community. That's why they're down 2 million units on Xbox Live. And that's why Call of Duty is going down. It's not you know, it's not because of them, you know, making, you know, it's not because the fact that they should be listening to the majority, and they're not. They listen to a couple of people here, and, you know, they never go back and refine the games from the last games. It's terrible. I mean, and this is the proof right here. Right there. Right behind me. That is the proof right there. Regardless of 5 years or not. That's the proof right there.